Over 174,000 kids in Arizona are currently living with some degree of asthma, which can make outdoor activities difficult. But as reporter Ariana Araiza tells us, there's one summer camp up north that gives these kids a chance to do things like ride a horse or swim in a lake, all while keeping an eye on their health.
The sounds of summer camp can be heard in the fields of Heber, Arizona. But this summer camp is a special week for some kids. In addition to water slides, Camp Not-A-Wheeze has arts and crafts to even animal interactions for kids living with mild to severe asthma. Most of these kids can't attend traditional summer camps due to their chronic condition. But here, medical volunteers are at hand 24/7.
We have a whole bunch that come to camp and that are passionate and want to make sure that these kiddos get to be able to do anything and everything.
Ashley Feary is the vice president of the camp. She says this camp is an important opportunity to show kids what they are capable of, despite their asthma.
We get to have them in environments. We put them on horseback riding. All these things that are triggers to these guys, we're able to control that, and parents feel that they're safe.
For 5 days, kids ages 7 through 14 live in an environment full of asthma triggers. There are swirling winds of pollen and allergens like animal fur that help kids identify what kickstarts their asthma while learning ways to control it.
Opens up your airways. Okay, reverses the constriction that you have.
Every day, campers attend Asthma Discovery, a 1-hour session full of activities, demonstrations, and education about asthma. Campers are sent home with demonstrations, comic books, information, exchange cards, and these 2 stickers right here to be put on the back of their inhaler to show if it's a quick relief or a controller.
They're also going to have an opportunity to learn how to take their medications. Children these days don't get trained on how to take medication. We need to be using spacers, valve holding chambers. That way we can make sure the medication gets deposited correctly.
According to a report from the American Lung Association, 10.9% of Arizona youths suffer from asthma, a rate that is higher than the 9.2 national rate. Alan Crawford is the president and camp director. He says Arizona's air quality is a big asthma trigger.
Things like particulates in the air are important because people with asthma are going to have a harder time. There's an increased risk of an exacerbation because of that trigger. We all want to breathe clean and healthy air, but the fact is we live in a state where our air is not healthy.
Dr. Cindy Bauer is the medical director of Camp Not-A-Wheeze, and she says kids living in lower income and rural areas often have more exposure to dirt roads, dusty air, and other asthma triggers.
Those homes are definitely going to have more environmental exposures and irritants that can cause asthma symptoms and flares. And that's a tough one because it's culture. It's part of the way those families live and the access they have.
The camp provides scholarships for 98% of the campers this year, covering the original cost of $650. Camp Not-A-Wheeze reports 89% of kids feeling more confident in identifying their triggers after attending the camp, saving an average of $2,000 in medical costs a year.
Most of our campers are from areas of need, and that's intentional. Those are the children that wouldn't have otherwise had this opportunity and often don't have that access to specialists and the care that we can give them here.
Bauer says the camp can be life-changing for kids.
So that's the way to remember.
By giving them power over their asthma, knowledge to take back home, and memories they'll never forget. In Heber, Arizona, Ariana Araiza, Cronkite News.